I am Dr. Kia Everett. I am an apostle. I'm a pastor. I'm a bishop. I am a licensed psychotherapist, and I've been in the field of mental health for 30 years. I'm a wife and I'm a mother. What experiences shaped who you are today? Hmm. I will say when I became ill in 2015, that really took me on a journey of inner healing, a journey of thinking about what my life looked like up until that point. And as I always say, since that time, I just don't see life the same. So that has shaped who I have become as a woman, who I've become as a family person, who I have become in ministry, and who I've become in my work. Why did you feel called to start this podcast? I felt called to start this podcast because I feel that there's not enough authentic, genuine conversation around different topics such as wellness, mental health, taking care of our bodies, taking care of our families. There's not enough conversation, enough positive conversation around those areas. What conversations are you hoping to have here on the podcast? Wow, I'm hoping to have a lot of authentic conversation. I'm hoping to have conversation where people feel comfortable being transparent. I believe transparency is the key to our healing. And so I'm hoping to have conversation where people can come and bring their true, authentic selves, um, the imperfect side of ourselves. I'm hoping to definitely have conversations around mental health and bridging the gap between mental health and faith, which is definitely the mantra that I follow. And I'm hoping to just have people come and feel comfortable sharing their stories, their testimonies, talking about their life events to help others. And so basically, there's no limit, there's no ceiling on the conversation or the topics. But I just hope that the conversations are authentic, meaningful, and that people can be healed through the conversation. Who is this podcast for? If you are breathing, this podcast is for you. Now, I will say that I don't think it's necessarily for young children, but when you start getting into the adolescent age and up, I believe that this podcast is for you. So if you are breathing, it is for you. I believe it is for leaders in ministry. I believe that it is for executives. I believe that it is for families. It's for anybody that can hold a conversation, understand a conversation, and get something out of a conversation. What do you want listeners to walk away with after each episode? I want listeners to walk away understanding and knowing that healing is the children's bread. That's what the Bible tells us. And that we do not have to suffer in silence any longer. That there is an opportunity for us to start the healing process, even if it continues to be I would say, a long process. We I want people to walk away with understanding that it's not a bad thing to want to be healed. It's not a bad thing to want to be whole. It's not a bad thing to want to do something different than what you've been accustomed to. What gap do you think this podcast fills? This podcast fills the gap for people to feel comfortable and being transparent. One of the things about me is that I'm real and I'm transparent. And so this is what I want this podcast to be. For us to talk about the difficult conversations, the hard things that nobody talks about. One of the things, me personally, I'm in the stage of menopause. And so that's something that we just didn't talk about. And so I want this podcast to be a platform that we can feel comfortable um, my guests, myself, we can feel comfortable having a conversation about the hard things, um, the hardcore issues, and being transparent. And what is missing in conversations today that you want to explore? What I think is missing is realness. I think people are not feeling safe enough to really talk about what is really going on. And so I think that is what's missing. A lot of times we're trying to say what we think people want us to say, and it's really not touching the core of what's going on in our lives.